What's up, guys? Long overdue follow along workout for your total gym or sliding bench trainer. I'm going to be using my sliding bench training workout poster template, which I recently created. There's a link down in the description box if you guys want to check one out and buy one for yourself. I'm going to be doing the option 1 template, which is a kind of a traditional template I like to kind of go to in general, where I'm going to do one chest exercise, where I can do a back exercise, then a core exercise, a leg exercise, then I'll be doing 2 single joint exercises. In this case, it'll be 2 arm exercises, followed up with like an optional exercise that I kind of give you guys some options at the bottom of this poster as well. This template, again, is generally what I traditionally follow. There's 5 different options here. In this workout, I believe we get to around 4 or 5 rounds if you guys do follow along, but you guys will see for yourself if you guys do choose to follow along. I'll put some timestamps down below, links in the description box for everything that I'll be featuring in this video. And then other than that, I'm going to be using the larger squat stand attachment. You guys could use some optional pull-up bar attachments. I go with these handles that I've been featuring in other videos that I can link down below. That's kind of optional for, I think, 1 or 2 sets of pull-ups. I got some other stuff hanging around. That's some extra stuff I'll do at the end, and I'll kind of briefly mention. I'll be doing some sit-ups, so I got my ab mat. I got these new fitness towels that I keep forgetting to mention to you guys. I really like these. I almost made a whole separate review for them, but I'll link these down below. They've been really helpful. I actually like them because they're actually durable. You actually can do like pull-ups with them as well. And a lot of you guys have been asking too about like pre-workout stuff that I do. So if you guys are curious, I'll link that down below in the description box if you guys are interested. Other than that, I have my weight vest I'll add for some external weight, and I do an optional body weight squat. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. All right, but then starting into the workout with round 1, we're going to that first upper body option. I'm just selecting the basic chest press that's found in that poster. And you guys know, if you guys watch a lot of my videos, this is always kind of a staple first exercise I do in most days of the week. Just traditionally, as far as like reps are concerned, I'm gonna go default to my go off of feeling. You guys can follow along with me and just go as many as I want, but I don't really encourage that. I would say on average, a lot of the rep ranges I'm gonna be getting is about 15 to 20. You guys can see I'm switching angles here. I'm pressing up to the middle. Sometimes I'll get my elbows a little bit closer. Whatever kind of feels right to you. So I hate to give you guys absolute maximums. You can see I'm taking mini breaks here. I'm gonna get my positioning a little bit different, and this is something I encourage you guys to do too. Mess with different positions as you guys are doing this chest press. But I get essentially a little more of a higher rep range, as many as reps as needed to kind of really feel it in the chest. Then I'm gonna get up and then just transition now to the back exercise. This is gonna be the face down pullovers. Again, going for a higher repetition range. Kind of getting my bearings. If you guys see me looking off to the side, I'm actually just kind of watching YouTube videos or listening to them in the background. But what I'm doing is I'm not pulling straight down. I'm kind of pulling down out into like almost like a kind of a downward, like I guess kind of a Y formation. But otherwise, if you pulled straight down, that would work as well. You're really trying to emphasize the sides of your back or your lats is what's doing most of the work here. Again, I'm aiming for like a kind of a higher rep range. I'm not even thinking about the repetitions. The big thing I'm trying to emphasize are my lats and the side of my back doing most of the work. And it's totally normal if you feel like this is too high of an incline, lower that. But if you feel like you're getting this more in your triceps, that's normal. It takes some time, but ultimately what you want to really feel are the muscles in the side of your back doing most of the work. All right, now we're going into the core exercises, and this one's going to be just a basic cable rotation. I show this a lot of times. You may have to pause the video and lower the tower height if needed. Whatever side I'm rotating to, that hand goes on first. The other hand kind of cups over it. And what also might be hard too is you might kind of slip off the glide board. So you can sit down if you guys want to as well, or like I said, lower the tower height. Big thing is you notice my head's following my hand. That makes you get a lot more rotation in the spine, which in turn essentially allow you to get more range of motion, and then you should feel it a little bit more on the obliques, the side you're working towards. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and switch sides. So I will check back with you guys as soon as this set is over. All right, now we're kind of going at a fast click here, so you can always pause the video, but I'm going to detach that middle cable attachment. We're going to go sitting on the glide board, and I'm just going to be doing one after the other, kind of mini squat jumps. I'm going to go 1 foot after the other, just like this. All right, and again, I'm trying to get as low as possible, trying to push through a nice flat foot. I'm trying to engage my glutes, hamstrings, and my quads as I'm doing this. This is fairly low intensity. I'm not doing a whole lot of work here with my legs because the day before this I did some outdoor running, did some leg pressing as well. So this is a little bit kind of icing on the cake. If you guys more of an emphasis on this, you could pause the video, just do some more isolated single leg squats would be really good. So this is again just kind of some light work on the legs really. All right, now I'm going to finish up with this, and I'm going to go ahead and attach the middle pulley. I'm trying to think actually as I'm on the line here with you guys what I'm doing. Oh yeah, so now I'm going to be doing the biceps and then triceps. So I'll switch up a couple different bicep exercises. You guys can choose whatever works for you. You'll see in the subsequent rounds after this, I will kind of switch up the exercise. Just pick any bicep exercise that works for you. I'm doing this one. This one can be kind of tough for a lot of people, especially if you feel like you're going to slip off or you don't feel confident getting in these high kind of angles. It can be kind of dangerous, especially if you don't have your grip or bearings right. So again, just going off of feeling, I would say a nice rep range would be 10 to 15. Ultimately, what I'm trying to do is just think of just the elbows is the primary joint that's flexing. I'm trying to avoid any kind of movement in my shoulders. I'm taking a mini break here just to kind of force out a few more repetitions. And if some of you guys are wondering, you're like, I don't necessarily go to failure. Some people might argue that this is failure. I don't go to the point of failure where I'm like, you know, shaking, my muscles are shaking to that point. But now we're going in on our backs, face up, just tricep extensions. This is one where you could pause the video, lower the tower setting, otherwise put your feet on the ground to help kind of give some tension off your elbows if this incline is too high, because certainly I know that this can actually cause some issues. Even here though, you can see that I'm really trying to isolate the elbows. I'm not trying to have my shoulders move up a little bit, but you certainly could make something where it's a combination kind of lat pull over into a tricep extension. That's also an option. All right, gonna go ahead now and I'm setting up my ab mat. Now you could choose whatever, if you guys are following out the poster, you can choose any additional exercise you want here. So it's this honestly kind of like an optional thing you want to do as far as an additional exercise you want to incorporate. I've just been getting the habit of doing more of these sit-ups. I think these ab mats work out pretty well. Having this weight vest actually works out good as far as like even weighting down your feet. I don't think it's a big deal, but I'm going for 25 reps. I think in some of these rounds I kind of lose count, but I'm going for 25 repetitions. I think in one of these I actually even close up the mat and finish up with some like forced crunches, but I don't think you see it here in the video. Just kind of go nice and easy. If you don't have an ab mat, not a huge deal, to be honest with you. You get a little bit more extension in the back. I tell people before though, if you have an ab mat, you gotta be really careful you're not like coming down hard, because that can aggravate your back. So yeah, just go for 25 repetitions here, and I'll check back with you guys at the end of this set. All right, we got that one done. And now you guys could pause the video here and take a little mini break if you want to. Otherwise, we're starting a second round. And as I start this second round, I'm gonna go ahead and just throw the extra, that 40-pound weight vest over the glide board. You guys could choose to throw some other additional form of resistance, like a weight plate or resistance band. It's up to you. I'm not messing with the tower height. I need to make a video one day just talking about how my preferred tower height setting is always 3/4 of the way high. That's like my nice sweet spot, but not a huge deal. Okay, so I'm going back into chest presses. Notice now I'm doing this chest press I've talked about on other videos where I sit a little bit lower on the glide board. What this does is just kind of lower, it essentially gets your chest line a little more even with the cables. If you're higher up, you can still press through your chest line, but that line of tension is coming more downwards. This time it's kind of more in line with my nipple line, if you guys can see that. So that's the kind of the benefit of sitting at the lower end of the glide board. That's also though, if you guys have the 2 extra carabiners like I do, and also the extra swivel attachment, gives you a little more length, which also makes you more able to actually pull off this specific exercise. And I love this one. You guys can kind of see here, I'm trying to really squeeze the middle of my chest. That's something always you want to focus in on. Then going back to that back exercise, again, that face down pullover. Again, this time with that extra resistance from the weight vest. You guys gotta excuse me whenever I do these follow along workouts, I'm just all over the place. But yeah, so just do this pull over, same exact thing. Trying to really emphasize the lats, and this should feel pretty difficult. I mean, with this extra 40 pounds, especially with this specific exercise, I feel like you really have to dig down deep on those lat muscles and your back muscles to really kind of make that work. taking some little breaks here, adjusting myself. But then after this, I believe we're going to go into the cable rotations. We're still got a few more reps here, finishing up this exercise. There's nothing wrong with taking little breaks to force out a few more reps. Okay. Again, leaving the tower height the same. Again, this can be cumbersome, and I recognize that for some people. So if you want to sub out a different core exercise, go ahead and do that. Again, I'm rotating to one side. You can kind of see in the way I'm kind of finishing off this rotation, I'm not getting as much rotation. A little more difficult now with this weight vest. Something that works out good if you guys have a weight bar attachment is that sometimes you can anchor your back foot in that weight bar. That allows you to not slip down the glide board. I just don't have it with me right now, or was just too lazy to get it out, but that's something else that works out really good with these cable rotations. Switching sides here. It's okay if you're going, you can go faster or slower. I find you can kind of see, I'm kind of going at a faster click. I want to say the rep range here is probably 10 to 12 that I'm pulling off. But again, really just digging down deep on each side. Head's following the hand. That's kind of a really big important thing. Okay, now we're going to go back to the that squat, kind of mini squat jump, alternating legs here. This might be one of the last ones I do. Eventually go into just body weight squats, the weight vest in a second, but we're going to start this exercise in a second. Forgot to detach that middle pulley. And believe it or not, this little resistance from the weight vest, actually, I remember I definitely kind of felt this. I can't emphasize enough though, when you guys are doing this squat jump, making sure your foot is nice and flat when you're kind of pushing off, but really digging down deep. You should feel this at essentially your butt and the back of your hamstrings essentially. Trying to get nice and low ideally. In order to get low, I have to sit pretty low on the glide board to make that work, but you guys do whatever works for you. You certainly could just do regular, any kind of a total gym squat, whatever works for you can work out pretty well too, but I actually felt like this was adequate. If I feel like I would do more, I would have done more. So you can see I'm not doing a whole lot of repetitions, but after I finish up this, we're going to be going right into the single joint exercises again, which in this case, in this workout, we did the bicep curl and then the tricep extension. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that middle pulley, and I'm leaving that external weight on there on the glide board. And we're going to do the exact same, at least I'm going to do the exact same bicep curl I did before, so you guys can feel free to switch it up if that wasn't too comfortable. I don't know if I said it in the first round, but you could do this exercise just seated down too as well. It's just kind of hard to get more of like a diagonal kind of slant to it, but I'm going to finish up here. After I finish up these reps, I'm going to be going into a different tricep exercise, just because I know it's going to be a little more difficult with this weight, but it's okay to get some body movement too. You can see I'm kind of like, I was kind of going low, then going high as I was kind of curling that. Whatever you got to do. And I'm just always trying to think about my biceps. I'm not thinking about exactly, as I'm watching this, I see myself doing that, but I'm not really even thinking about that as I'm actually doing the exercise. All right, now this one I'm going to go face down, tricep extensions. Again, you could feel free to lower that tower height if you guys wanted to. This is another one that you could dissipate some weight by putting your kind of like your tippy toes on the bottom of the base of the total gym. That works out well. But again, I'm emphasizing full range of motion. My elbows are fully flexing, fully extending. I'm trying to have minimal movement in my shoulders, meaning it's just my elbow joint that's doing the work. Just like those bicep curls, I'm taking a little kind of mini breaks in the middle of that set to force out a few more repetitions to kind of get more of a kind of a, lack of a better word, really getting more of a pump in the muscles, to be honest with you. And I think that makes a difference, honestly, in muscle hypertrophy and kind of signaling growth. That's just something I've kind of always noticed. All right, going into the sit-up again. Nothing super crazy here. I'm going to do another set of 25, give or take, and I will see you guys at the end of this exercise. Again, this is pretty much end round 2 after this. All right, so we finished that round up. We're gonna start round 3 here. I'm gonna go ahead and add the weight vest on top of the glide board, and I'm gonna raise this actually to the highest setting on the Total Gym. And then I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a break here. I would say my break after each round is when I was taking a break. It was roughly no more than a minute. I mean, I'm just adjusting the camera here for a second. I'm gonna get some drink of this. This is actually some BCAAs. People ask me all the time what I think about BCAAs. I mean, honestly, I think they're good. I'll use them for workouts sometimes or once in a while, but I don't think you necessarily need to have them. But to me, they sometimes can be glorified flavored water, to be honest. All right, so starting out round 3. Again, I'm starting at the bottom of the glide board. I got that external weight doing the exact same exercise I did. You guys could opt for something else. I really feel like too, and you can kind of see it as I'm watching this video, I mean, I'm really kind of thinking about, it's one of these oftentimes you don't neglected points, is that my abdominals are really working in this position. When you're sitting up nice and straight, even if I'm leaning slightly forward over, there's a lot of stuff going on under the surface whenever you're doing any Total Gym exercise, especially one like this. Taking a little bit of a break here to kind of increase some force reps, but really trying to work on, again, squeezing the chest. But again, my abdominal section, I'm trying to really squeeze and kind of focus on that as well, kind of unconsciously. I don't really consciously really think about it, but I know that's generally happening, just kind of maybe probably out of habit whenever I've been working with these machines. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and use these extra handles. I've been featuring these many times. I guess if you consider these handles, those are loop around straps. You guys can pause the video and add some your wing dip attachments to do some pull-ups. You certainly could just do pull-ups from the top of the glide board or the top of the tower there if you guys want to do that. Oftentimes we do that, but I really like these handles. They're really easy. I like them just so easy to use, to slip on and off. I don't know if I'll ever kind of go back to the Total Gym pull-up bars because these things just make life so much easier. I don't think you really miss out on too much. I also love the way I just kind of get more of an extension, it feels like, and get nice and low, and I get more of that, again, that deep stretch in the side of my lats. So you can see here, I'm even doing some forced reps here. This is, again, pretty tough in that highest incline setting with that extra 40 pounds. I know when I was doing this, I could feel that, again, that deep tension I was getting, and also deep contraction as I was pulling up. So finish up a few more of these. And then after this, I believe I'm going to switch up attach the middle cable. And then here I'm going to transition, instead of doing the cable crossovers, I'm going to be doing the abdominal kind of rollout exercise with the glide board. Another one of my, often, I say a lot of stuff's my favorite, a lot of stuff's my kind of go-to exercises, but this is one, again, is one that I kind of forgotten about for a period of time. Then I kind of brought it back after, really during the summertime, I brought this exercise back for my own little rotation of exercises. And I just like it a lot. Maybe because I've been doing a little more abdominal stuff than I used to. And this is just, staple. No one's going to say like an ab roller doesn't work. That's a staple thing. With the Total Gym, and I've said this many times, what's great about this exercise, because depending on your age, those things can be kind of hard, those ab roll outs, especially if you want to get really low. So what's great about this is you can always increase the incline setting. And I'm going to be going about, I'd say again, I'm not counting really, I think maybe 20-ish repetitions. Just enough where, I feel like that's, my body's kind of had it, but got to be mindful too. Older people, I don't really stress this enough, but if you're a history of having hernias or something like that, be very careful with any kind of abdominal exercise. You're really, especially opening up and having a deep stretch in your abdominals and kind of forcing things. Now, instead of doing the squat we were doing, the kind of rotating squats, I'm going to do some body weight squats and just throw that weight vest on top of me here. And I'm going just for roughly, I guess I'm pretty sure it was 25, but this might have been one of those things where I wasn't even counting. I get this question so much, and everyone gets kind of concerned about this, but I mean, the rep range, everyone wants to know that magical rep range, or exactly how many reps I'm doing. I really think the most important thing is take it on an individual case basis. Yes, when you first start doing this, you're not going to do as many reps. I mean, you're not going to do as much as me, or don't compare yourself really anyway. The point is that rep range should kind of be organic. It should start to progress. If it feels easy, do more. If you're kind of off that particular day, do less. And also if you're doing a lot of exercises back to back like I'm doing, and I'm taking very minimal rest, that also is going to affect the number of repetitions I'm going to be doing. All right, so I'm going to attach that middle cable, and I'm going to go right back into the bicep exercise. This time I'm going to be doing something different. Notice I didn't get fixing my little carabiner clips here. I did not put left the weight vest off just because I'm changing up the exercise. Just doing this inverted curl. this one's another great one. I think someone was commenting in a couple of videos ago that I've already said this too, that what's great about this one is you can't really cheat. You know, having your back on the glide board works out really good because you're not going to have that cheating effect happen with your shoulders kind of taking over the movement. You can again isolate the elbows, just your elbows flexing and extending. So this is a really great one. This is one here you can see kind of the tension in my face. I'm just trying as much as I can dial in that stress and tension in the biceps, taking mini breaks. I threw in, I didn't realize I did this. Must have been kind of get lost in the motion there, but I threw in throwing in some lateral raises here. I guess 1 or 2. And then just going into some bicep curls. Sometimes I do that, you know, it's like a little kind of mini active rest, so you can kind of rest that body part by doing some other different exercise. I kind of do that from time to time, and I kind of forget about even mentioning that to you guys. Not that it's a big deal, but that's one of the cool things of the Total Gym. You can kind of switch up another exercise just on the fly. All right, going into tricep extensions, I'm going to go to those bent over tricep extensions. Notice now I'm in a higher incline, and you're going to see maybe some movement. I might cheat a little bit, but this can be tough for people because you don't have this high incline. This can put some stress on the elbows. So do whatever works for you. You could lay down. See, this is what I'm doing now. I'm going over to a pullover tricep extension to kind of get some stress off my elbows. So I kind of use my back and my lats to kind of help out in some sets there, or some repetitions there. All right, doing another set of the ab mat. And really the reason I put that towel down, honestly, it's not so much to wet the sweat away, it's because the sun gets so hot, and you guys don't see it, but every time I hop on that glide board in the heat, I get this little brief scorching effect on my back because it's so hot out. So sometimes that towel comes in handy for that regard too. All right, so I'm gonna finish up this set, and then I'll talk to you guys. It should be the next final round after this one. All right, we're finishing up that round, but we're ready to start the next round. This is going to be the final one, I believe, and it's going to be one that's going to do a couple new exercises. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the glide board down to the lowest setting. Feel free to pause the video if you guys want a break. I didn't show my break in here. I'm sure it took like a 20-second, 30-second break there. Feel free to pause the video and set this up if you guys want to. So again, lowering the glide board to the lowest setting. I'm going to pull this back. Just going to do some push-ups here. So push-ups on my knees. So push-ups, and I did this, I know a whole video about this, about like the perfect Total Gym push-up, talking about really emphasizing as I'm pushing, I'm trying to really drive and squeeze my chest together, also trying to flex my lats as I kind of get to the top position. With that little glide back and forth allows me again to kind of get a little kind of more play or range of motion in my chest as I'm getting down and digging up. So even though it looks like an easier push-up on my knees, it's actually pretty hard. At least it directs a lot more direct tension on my chest. At least that's what I'm trying to focus in on. So you can do it like this, just do regular push-ups, totally up to you, but this is one that has some finer details. Again, I made a whole video about this, I'd say about maybe 5 to 10 videos back recently from this one. I'm gonna put this about 3/4 of the way high. We're gonna do the, I'm gonna load this up some external weight, so that's optional. And then I'm gonna do this kind of cross grip row, where I'm gonna reach and then come up high and row with on the glide board. Something I never mentioned, that for whatever reason, I have to have my right arm over on this cross grip row. When I have the left arm over, I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe one shoulder is higher than the other. I notice the cables get tangled, or they want to like touch and rub each other more. If my right arm's on top when I start this, I don't have this problem. So I'm reaching, coming up high, and rowing. You don't have to do this. You could just do a seated row if you guys wanted the cross grip. But as I think you guys can kind of see this. As I'm reaching, you really can see my lats kind of flail out as they're kind of crossing around, getting a little more extension. and I just feel like it's a lot more effective, especially not just the reach, but then that coming up and follow through. So really cool, really unique exercise that I think, you know, you can do this in the gym, but the total gym really shines at something like this. All right, this is kind of a bonus. I forgot to mention this. I almost could maybe edit this, but I'm gonna leave this in here. I'm doing kind of a quick little compound set for this last round here, just doing some pull-ups. Ditching that middle pulley. I'm gonna do a few reps, not doing a whole lot here, just a little bit more, just to kind of do like some forced reps. Or you could say a superset or compound set, I should say. All right, we're finishing this one up. And then after this, we're gonna go right back into that abdominal rollout. So go ahead and lower the glide board to the bottom setting. And then just find that rep range that works for you. One thing you don't see here is that this is kind of a little uncomfortable for my knees, and that's not unbearable, but ideally I'd want to have something soft under my knees here so it doesn't kind of cause any discomfort, so I can know that can be an issue for some people. All right, we're gonna finish this one up, and then I'm gonna get ready to do the bodyweight squat again. Can use my weight vest. You guys could use anything, or just choose any kind of a squat or leg exercise you guys want to do. Taking a little break here for the sake of the video here, also probably for myself, and we're starting. Not a whole lot of crazy reps. I mean, at this point, I'm getting kind of tired. You guys are probably getting pretty tired if you guys are following along. So I'm not doing a lot of crazy reps. I'm not forcing anything. To be honest, I didn't even say it, I don't think, in this workout at all yet. I was a little, not tired, just didn't have as much energy as I sometimes do with certain workouts. And I think that's a lot of times because when I started this, I didn't have I have headphones on now, but I'm kind of listening to something. If I have music on, I'm going more of a higher pace, but basically kind of taking it a little easy here. So it's not, you're still getting your work in, but for some reason it just wasn't going, you know, totally hard, not trying to push myself that much. And you can still see in my face, I'm kind of still straining here. I'm getting tired. Probably from all the reps, all the volume with limited rest is probably what's kind of going on here, but okay, and then we're going to finish up with the arm exercises again. Shouldn't say finish up, we get one more of those abdominal crunches, and then there'll be some bonus stuff you guys will see at the end here, like I mentioned at the start of the video. Alright, so I'm just going to be going default arm exercise. This is another one of my favorites. I mean, I think I've said this many times, you guys have maybe noticed it yourselves. There's really 3 primary bicep exercises I love in this. There's a few more that I like to do, but really my favorite ones are this one, the inverted bicep curl, and the first one we started with where I was kind of kneeling, facing away from the tower, doing that curl. So this one, like, sometimes I'm not doing it as much. Sometimes I'll even reach or lean back. So there you might see it here. That was right it. That was the set. I just a repetition right there where I'll reach and then do a curl. So I'm doing it here too. Allows you an opportunity to kind of get some forced repetitions. All right, then going right into triceps, lying tricep extensions. You can kind of see now that if I want to do a little bit of a boost, I might even do it here. If it's at a high setting, you can put your tiptoes, again, at the bottom of the base of the total gym. That can help you with some forced reps and to alleviate some tension you guys might feel on your elbows. A lot of little mini breaks you guys are noticing. I don't really get a chance to really talk about that or showcase that when I do the quicker kind of highlight based videos that I show you guys. All right, then wrapping up with another set of sit-ups, and I'll catch you guys at the end of this set here because I will do some bonus stuff I'll just kind of go over. Otherwise, this is going to be the end of the workout, but I'm just going to show you guys a couple little bonus things that I did, and I'll touch back with you guys at the end of this set. All right, guys, so that is it. You could call it quits here, but I did a couple little minor touch-up things here. Otherwise, we do about 30 minutes worth of work. I did some of these tower rows. I did some resistance band presses, some curls. Nothing really crazy. I didn't do a whole lot of extra sets. I would say one set maybe of each of these. It wasn't a whole lot of stuff. But then at the end of all this, I did about, I was listening to stuff in the background. I did about 10 to 15 minutes of jump rope. And that was pretty much my workout. So hopefully you guys like this. I can do more of these in the future if you guys like. These have been long overdue. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.